Okay, there we are. We are recording. Recording now. Hi, everybody. This is Dustin with the Rewatch Recap, and this is a new segment called Previously On that I decided to start doing bi-weekly at first. We're going to check it out. We're going to see if it's going to work. Today, I'm joined with my friend Chelley from Tales of Point Horror Book Club on Instagram and talespointhorrorbookclub.co.uk. Is that correct,
Yeah,
Chelley?
.co.uk, yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly on Instagram at the moment, maybe branching out to
You might
other
see her. You
places.
might see her here on YouTube at some point. So yeah, Chelley and I have done a lot of recaps for the show, and we've
Yeah.
done, gosh, we've done what we did, Misfits, we
Yeah,
did
the
Coupling.
Misfits, Coupling.
Did we do anything else other
I
than that? I
think
thought.
that's all we've done for the
Well, we did a
rewatch
lot for my other
recap. But
podcast
yes,
before.
yeah,
That's why I'm getting mixed
we've
up.
been around a
So
lot.
we're good friends now. We've been friends for
Yeah.
a good 5, almost 6 years now. So
Yeah, wow, it's gone really quick.
I know it's really wild.
Oh,
Oh, memories.
I know.
Anyway, so the point of this is for every so often, I'm going to check in with some friends, and we're going to talk about things that we're watching, things that we're rewatching, anything new discovered. It could be brand new, it could be just new to you, and maybe even recommend some things or say I didn't really like this, and this is why. Just to kind of check in with people, pop culture wise, mainly television. So, Chelley, what have you been rewatching lately?
I have been rewatching Scream Queens. Do you remember that?
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. For those of you that don't know, Scream Queens is a Ryan Murphy comedy horror show,
Yeah.
kind of in the vein of American Horror Story meets Glee in a way, without the
Yeah.
music. And the first season, phenomenal. Second season, to me, is I
Yeah,
think a lot of
second
people felt
season
that
not
way.
so good. Yeah, definitely. But
So, what
yeah,
made you start getting into that again?
I don't know, something I must have watched. Oh, I watched you know, based on a true story, which is a new series with, is it Kaylee Kuko? I never say her name
Oh yeah,
right.
I think
Yeah.
it's Quoco.
Yeah, I never say her name right. And I watched that and I really loved the second series of that. The first series was good, second series was like really, really good. And I thought, oh, this reminds me of Scream Queens. So I was
Mm.
like, now I really want to rewatch Scream Queen. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
it's just as good on the rewatch. I'm on the first series. I think I'm on the last episode of the first series at the moment. And it's just as good on the rewatch as it was the first time when I saw it. Although, because obviously I know the end and the reveal, like I think I found a few little plot holes while I was watching it. That's the
That's the
problem.
bad thing. Yeah, when you go back
I'm
and the
like,
fresh eyes is fine, but when you go back with
yeah,
the second set, you're like, oh, this
yeah. I
didn't
think
work
you
out.
can really tell if you're rewatching it that Ryan Murphy decided quite near the end who the reveal was going to be. Because there's definitely a few little things, and you think, how?
It's kind of the Gossip Girl effect too. At the same time, that
Yeah,
when they revealed who Gossip Girl was, in which I could say it, but I'm not going to, in case somebody doesn't know and
yeah.
who's watching it. But the person they revealed to be Gossip Girl, and people go back and rewatch Gossip Girl, it makes
Yeah.
no
You're
sense
like,
at all.
wait,
Major
hang
plot holes.
on. Yeah.
And they try to like gaslight the audience, like, no, this was happening the whole time. You're like, no, it wasn't. This makes no sense. Why would
Yeah.
you say this? This is a person. So if you've never seen Gossip Girl, and it's fine the first go around, but if you're really paying
Mm.
attention and you find out who it is at the end, you're like,
You're like,
that can't be Gossip Girl.
wait.
That can't be.
Yeah.
That
And
doesn't make sense.
I feel exactly like that rewatching Scream Queens, but although I still think it's genius and hilarious and the characters are just hilarious. Like it is, I wish they'd do something similar, and that based on a true story was not
Hmm.
not exactly similar, but the same kind of humour.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of that. So I was like, yeah, let's revisit.
So what have I been rewatching lately? Oh my goodness. So I mean, every night I watch Big Bang and
Yeah.
Friends. So that's just a thing I go to bed to. But man, what have I been? I've been wanting to rewatch Heroes. I just haven't started yet
Oh, I'd love to
because that's kind of
rewatch
a commitment.
Heroes. Yeah. See, I don't think I ever got to the end of Heroes. I'll be honest. I think
Well,
I
you know, a
gave
lot of
up
people
on
didn't.
it. Yeah, I think I gave up on it. So I'd like to rewatch. It's like me and Corey have just my son have just started rewatching. Well, rewatch for me, new watch for Corey, but we're watching Lost, and
Okay.
like that's a commitment,
Yeah.
pure commitment.
Especially, the old school, they're not doing it as much anymore. The season lengths of being like 22 to 24 episodes.
Yeah,
Because now
yeah,
everybody's doing 10 to 13, which
yeah.
I think is smarter because you don't
You don't
stretch too
get the
much out.
fillers. Yeah, you don't get the fillers too
And
much.
sometimes the filler episode is great for character development,
Mm.
but overall, I love if the character's good, it's going to be good.
Yeah,
So you want the story to be good too. So
yeah,
with
yeah,
Heroes, the problem was obviously the first time was the first writer's strike that really affected it.
yeah.
They had to condense a storyline and they tried to introduce too many new characters and then it kind of just went off the rails. But they never
Mm,
fully recovered from that.
yeah.
And
It
so it just kind
suffered.
of, yeah, it kept suffering as it went on and then
Yeah.
getting watered down. And they kept trying to like change, oh, but this is what really happened. And that's where it got bad. The only thing I stuck with it because I liked the original characters that they kept
Yeah.
along. And I wanted to see what happened to them because I liked those
Mm,
characters. Even if I
yeah, they
didn't like
were
the
good.
story, yeah, I didn't, first season, great, right?
Yeah.
But then, like I said, it goes downhill, and I like the characters, but it wasn't to me. It wasn't so bad for me to quit watching. It has to be
Mm,
really bad for me to go. I
yeah.
can't take this. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
like the Riverdale effect for me. I could not.
Um,
4 episodes into season 2, and I went, I'm out. I can't do this. This
I
is
think I
not.
got to about season 3 or 4 on Riverdale, but I've never seen the rest. But maybe one day.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, and I went, I don't know. I really don't care. Like the first season had this certain vibe, and they changed it
Yeah.
in the second season. And I'm like, this is not the show I was watching. It
Yeah.
felt like a different show,
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
didn't. And I was interested in the characters, but I didn't like love the characters.
Mm,
And if they had done the story better, I probably would have. If
yeah.
they kept it in the same tone, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I got away from it. But yeah, Heroes is the same way. A lot of people didn't like Heroes Reborn. I liked Heroes Reborn.
I've never
It
seen that.
So yeah, they tried to reboot. It was about 8 years after the first series Heroes ended,
Yeah.
and they tried to continue the story. Some of it was like, like why would you do that? Why would you like? They didn't bring back many of the original cast members. They brought some back,
Mm.
but not all of
Oh,
them.
okay.
And then you found out the fate of some of the other characters, and you're like, really? That's what happened to them? Like that's weak. That's a cop out.
Yeah.
And I liked some of the characters and I liked some of the powers and some of the situations, but
Mm.
overall the story was like, why? And that's why it
Yeah.
didn't continue past one season.
Yeah.
Um, but whatever. So I'm thinking about that. I've been thinking about rewatching Once Upon a Time.
Oh, see, I've never seen Once Upon a Time.
And that's done by the producers of Lost. So
Oh, that surprises me. It was always on. It was on a channel over here in the UK that um it was on Channel 5 over here, I think, off the top of my head. And I don't know, I don't think it got as much promotion as it should
mm,
have. So obviously by the time then it piqued my interest, it was too far into it. And you're talking back in the day when then you can't just like go on and like binge watch all the episodes that you haven't seen. You can nowadays, obviously,
you just
but
got a
yeah.
little pop-up bubble.
Oh, did I?
When you did your thumb, when you did your thumb up, it did a little pop-up bubble.
It's not going to do it again
And
now.
now it's not going to do it on purpose anymore. That's so weird. What was that? That was
I
like,
didn't know it did that.
that was strange. Anyway, yeah. No, yeah, so Once Upon a Time is fun, and it's one of those other ones that kind of goes, what? And
Mm,
then it brings itself back around, and then it's like, what? And then they try to do a
yeah.
whole full series reboot in the final season. Like they ended the story, and then they try to
Yeah.
reboot it, and that
Yeah.
wasn't as good. And
Yeah.
then they ended it. And so I was like, good, just
Yeah.
end it, please. Um,
Oh, okay.
but it was a
Need
good
to give that a
show,
go.
especially if you know all the Disney versions of all these like
Yeah.
fairy tale characters, and that's what
That's
they're
what
basing it
piques
off
my
of.
interest the most about it. Like,
Yeah,
that piques my interest the most, definitely. I mean, I know that's the point, but
it's mostly the Disney version. Like there's
yeah.
Rumpelstiltskin. That Disney doesn't cover Rumpelstiltskin.
No. Which is
There's
a tragedy.
yeah,
Rumpelstiltskin is a good story, like, good
but they make him
character, good
really good
story.
in this.
Yeah.
And they tie him into the other characters, and that's the thing. It's kind of like a multiverse type story where all these characters
Yeah.
interacted, or this character is also this character, that kind of stuff. So it's really
Oh.
neat when you find out
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
And they also bring in the Wicked Witch from Oz.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff keeps coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So it's a
Oh.
little different. Alice in Wonderland, which
Hmm.
they had a spinoff, but it was kind of a multiverse story, like a different Alice and different. It's different and different Mad
Oh.
Hatter, because the Mad
Yeah.
Hatter Once Upon a Time was Sebastian Stan.
Oh, right.
So he was in the first season, then he never came
Yeah.
back. His
Oh.
movie career started taking off.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
so yeah, that's it's a fun show. I recommend it if you
Yeah.
just want escapism.
Yeah.
Is there anything new you've been watching that you haven't watched before?
So I was just going to say as well, my husband, he's never seen it before, but he's been watching Ugly Betty. So I've been catching some of it while he's been watching it, because he'll just sit there and just watch. And I'm like, oh, I might revisit this myself and rewatch it from back in the day. So next time when we chat, I bet I'll probably watch the first season of that, I think.
That's really funny. My friend has been watching Ugly Betty lately too,
Oh.
so it's kind of in the air, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it must be. But new to me, I watched a program on Netflix called Apple Cider Vinegar. I just
I've heard
finished
of
that.
this.
Yeah, so basically, it's like based on a true story that was based on a lie. So it's about Belle Gibson, a lady from Australia who basically faked that she had cancer and made a lot of profit off making like this thing called the Whole Pantry app and well-being and a book to go alongside it. She got loads of deals, loads of money for this stuff. But
It's a very
what,
holistic type of
yeah.
approach. Yeah.
But what I loved about it was, because obviously I know a bit of her story because I've seen things, but what I loved about it was it told a story of another girl who had like cancer of the arm and she refused to have it amputated, and she went into like this, natural route of drinking juices and like enemas, coffee enemas and things
Mm.
like this. And it was just quite interesting to see the two contrasting stories, and it was interesting. It's tragic, I mean, for certain characters,
Yeah.
but it was interesting to watch just to see. I'm intrigued by how people get hooked into that kind of thing, like a little bit like a cult, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, because I guess, like, you've been given tragic news, you want that hope. Like, so you'll do anything, you'll try anything. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah. Guys,
it
we've been
just,
doing medical research and stuff for like
mm,
millennia. Like it's built up. You know what I mean? So for
yeah,
not just decades, for centuries, it's been building.
yeah,
We built upon this information. We did that for a reason. And
mm,
yes, there is some truth to, hey, if you change your diet, it'll help, like with your
yeah,
diabetes or with
yeah,
heart conditions and stuff. Yeah, it will help. It doesn't mean it's
yeah,
100% going to help, but it can
mm.
help.
No,
It's
that's
not
it.
it's going to make it go away.
Yeah,
You didn't get
yeah,
cancer because you didn't drink apple cider vinegar. It's like,
yeah. No, that's it. And it just, stuff like that fascinates me, because I think, like my nan used to say to me, like if I had a cough or something, she'd be like, "Oh, you need to like suck on this barley sugar, and the cough will go away." And you kind of think like it's fascinating where these like things come from, all these
the
little,
old wives' tales type
yeah,
stuff.
like, and I just find that fascinating
Yeah,
to a certain extent. So it was interesting, but it was tragically sad as well at the same
yeah.
time.
That's what
Yeah.
I. So I got into, because the new season has started, I decided to start watching The White Lotus
Oh
on Max.
yes, I've been watching White Lotus.
Have you caught up on this now too?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I've watched the first episode of the third season.
okay.
I'm not sure when the second one's out over here. Should be this week.
Oh, you haven't gotten the second season
I
yet?
don't. No,
Oh,
I've
anyway,
seen
second episode.
Sorry,
It's supposed
yeah,
to be,
episode.
as of today, we're filming this on a Sunday, by the way, so it should be,
Yes.
second episode should be out today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's when it comes out for us, so I'm sure it's
Yeah.
the same time for
It
you.
must be the same.
But you've watched the first and second season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I got caught up on it, and I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to watch it, I don't. And I was like, just watch it, just watch it. Sometimes you have to make yourself just
Yeah.
watch it, and then you get into it,
Yeah.
And I I equate White Lotus as like a modern day, maybe even a little like darker version of Tales of the City. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you've ever seen Tales of the City, and
I
if you
know
have
of
never
it.
seen,
Yeah.
so people are going to say, "Oh, you mean that thing on Netflix?" Not that Tales of the City. Okay, that's in the same universe, but that is actually a sequel series. So you want to watch the original. There's a mini series. There's three miniseries of the first three books. It's an entire book series. There are 10 books in this series.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
and so
Yeah.
they skipped over several books and jump to the end of the books to modern day time because it starts off in
Yeah.
the 70s and it moves to modern day in the book series. So what
Yeah.
they did for the new Tales of the City on Netflix, they took like the last three books and combined them and made new. It's not the same kind of a
Yeah.
thing that they did because the original they literally adapted book one into the first
Yeah.
miniseries. Then they did book two.
Yeah.
You good? All right. Um, dog. Anyway, so and then they did book two. So look for Tales of the City, more Tales of the City, and further Tales of the City. They might be streaming somewhere. I know first one is for sure. So and if you like a soapy type show that's also kind of historical fiction, you definitely want to go
Mm,
for this because it's
yeah.
it's really good. And if you like White Lotus, I think you'll like this. It's a
Oh,
little slower
okay.
moving, but it's
Yeah.
like 6 episodes, 6 hours of
Yeah.
a show. It's about the same length as like the first season of White Lotus.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
What's funny is that the first season of White Lotus has Marie Bartlett, who's in the new Netflix Tales of the City as a legacy
Ah.
character, so taking over the
Yeah.
role of a character. So
Yeah.
that kind of ties that in. Not the same person, obviously, but
No.
yeah. Um, so yeah, White Lotus, been watching that. And I've also
Yeah.
been watching on Disney Plus Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I just finished it. The full season's finally out. I
Yeah.
just finished it, and it's really good. It's a multiverse story,
Mm,
and so it's not taking place in the main MCU universe.
yeah.
But I think what they're doing is they're introducing characters here, so you'll be used to them when they do finally introduce them
Ah,
in the
interesting.
MCU.
Yeah.
Because they introduce a character from, and this is the very first episode, so it's not a really big spoiler, and they said it in the trailer. So they
Yeah.
introduced Nico Minoru, who is in Marvel's Runaways, which
Yeah.
we just covered
Oh,
on the rewatch recap, because
yeah.
she became like a standout character on the show and in the comics. People love Nico, so they kind of reinvented her in several storylines. Like at one point she's a mutant, and another point she has nothing to do with the other characters from Runaways, which I kind of don't
Yeah.
like. I want them to bring them in too, but
Yeah.
I understand, it's a multiverse story. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
And she's kind of a goth Asian girl, and she's kind of a witch. And everybody was hoping that she would show up in Agatha all along.
Yeah.
It would have made sense too, but all at the same time, she's not like she's a kind of different witch.
Mm,
Like
yeah.
she has a power from within. She has the staff of one that really like puts her. It's not her doing spells and hand stuff
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I really like that character. So I'm like, oh, this is so
Yeah.
cool. She's kind of taking the role of
Oh.
MJ in a way
Yeah.
in
Oh,
this
okay.
version, but more of a friend, kind of like a Ned meets MJ type of character.
Yeah.
So if you like that, you should check it out. It's an animated series, but it's done like comic book panels.
Yeah.
And so like every day they're always wearing the same outfit. Very, very cartoony. But it's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
story. It's really good. It kind of gets you into it and you're like, oh, I like this backstory and
Okay.
how things are going to work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely check it out if you have
Mm,
Disney Plus or find a friend who does and watch it there. Uh,
yeah.
don't share passwords, guys. They're cracking down. Okay. But if you can get away with it, I'm not encouraging it. Is there anything you're looking forward to coming out soon?
I can't think off the top of my head now what was coming out. Have you got any exciting things that you know is coming
Well,
out?
I know Daredevil Born Again is coming out in March.
Yes, that should
And
be
I'm really
good.
looking forward to that. I probably need to rewatch Daredevil again. At least
Mm,
I need to rewatch. I never watched season 3, so I probably just need
yeah.
to go ahead and watch that because I fell off of
Yeah.
it. They had so many Marvel shows coming out, and I was like, I can't keep up. Um, but I need to rewatch that,
Mm.
and I'm probably going to try to watch it with my dad. Anyway, so yeah, thank you, Shelley, because thank you
Oh,
for
thank
catching up with
you.
me
Yeah.
about TV, old, new,
Yeah.
coming soon. So,
Exciting.
so if anybody has anything you're looking forward to coming out soon, or anything you're rewatching lately, let us know in the comments. And reach out to us at the Rewatch Recap. You can find us here, right here on YouTube. See you next time, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.